Alright, it's time to put the clutch in. Put it on the motor anyways and get the motor in the car. My prehistoric lift. The car. We're going to show you how to put all this together. Put it on the motor so the motor goes in relatively easily. And our new clutch kit comes with a flywheel, a disc pressure plate, throwout bearing, new bolts for the pressure plate and the flywheel, and also a tool to line everything up. I'm going to show you a trick with the tool, and I'm going to show you the easiest way to put one of these in anyways. Okay, we got the flywheel on. It only goes on one way. You see we got two bolts down here that are close together and the rest are spaced apart. Torque them down. What it says in the book to torque them down to. And before we go anywhere else, take a clutch disc. Make sure it slides on the transmission. I don't know how many, well, I've learned the hard way, okay? Bought a clutch, pressure plate, throwout bearing for a car. Put it in the car, and come to find out, it's the wrong spline. You know, and you fight with it for 2 hours. And there's another trick with this tool you do. And I'm going to show you here real quick. See, you stick this in here. See how this wobbles around? Well, naturally, when you put it in, you're going to let it sit there with the disc in. It's actually going to be down this way too far. You see, we got probably a good 1/4 inch up and down at the end here. What you want to do is rotate this thing around until you find a happy medium right dead in the middle. Because what's going to happen is, say you got the weight of this disc pushing down on this, you're actually going to have the transmission going in at an angle to even line up right. And then sometimes it won't, because this will be a hair smaller than the shaft sticking out. So what you want to do is just kind of wobble this thing around, keep playing with it until you find about the middle, and then tighten it down. When you go to put it in, if it doesn't go in, you know, relatively easy, you know, you might want to stop and then you know, figure out what you've done wrong. All right, we got our clutch arm off. Got our clutch arm cleaned up. New throwout bearing put on it. Put a couple of dabs of grease in each corner to eliminate clutch creak. Not creep, creak. You know, like when you open a screen door, it goes ee. When you push on the clutch, it'll squeak. I'll put a little bit of grease on the shaft and the splines, and that's it. Just a little. If you put a lot, it's just going to sling it all over inside the bell housing, and it may get on your clutch. Okay. You also want to grease the inside of the throwout bearing where it rides on this shaft here, which is just a stationary part of the transmission. This clip, this throwout bearing will sit in there, and this clip is like just a snap clip. It'll be back in here, and what you do is you hold it up with your finger, go in there with a pick, just like that, and pull it out. And that's how you get that thing clipped back in there. Because if you don't, you're just going to be fighting with it forever. Here's the other thing. What's that say? It says gearbox side. That means the input shaft should go in this way. This is the motor back here, okay? Okay, we've Loctited our bolts. They're all started. I'm going to put these, put the right bit on my drill. It's not a drill, by the way. Now you see how this moves around? Okay? You want to find a happy medium. Kind of snug them up a little bit. Make sure your shaft goes in and out really easy. The clutch shaft, I mean. I know some of you are thinking, he's tightening that stuff with a drill. I guarantee you this ain't no drill. Okay? This will bust exhaust manifold studs. if I can get it. Go around again, make sure I didn't miss any. See how easy that goes in and out? Look at that. Okay? Now, this is a brushless DeWalt impact. 3-speed. It's got lights on it. The chuck is right here by my finger. The other ones you see on the market are about that much longer because you know you got the chuck and the clutch on the front. This one don't have that. This one is just, it's a one-handed deal. That's it, okay? This is a nasty little handheld impact, okay? What I used to use is, I'll show you. All right, I take everything apart with this thing because it has a chuck. You can adjust it. It's variable speed. Forward and reverse. It's got 2-speed transmission, forward and reverse. But this thing here is so heavy. Literally, if you're under a car, you know, working or under a hood, okay? This thing, if I can get it back up here, this thing in the box, 2 batteries, charger, drill, and everything, weighs less than this thing does by itself, okay? This thing is literally maybe a pound, if that. This thing here is like 3 pounds, maybe 4 pounds. This is expensive. It's regularly like 280 bucks. I found it on sale for $219, so I had to buy it. I take a lot of stuff apart. You know, I could literally walk in a junkyard with a handful of metric sockets and a couple of screwdriver and torque bits and just rip everything apart. This thing is supposed to last. I've been using it for 3 days now. I'm only 1 light bar down. I took my car apart the other day, changed the turbo. What else did I do? The turbo, the oil pump, put it all back together, and I'm still using it. And I've only charged this battery when I took it out of the box. So the other one is actually still in the case laying over there. I charged them both up. Got little dinky batteries. It's a 20 volt. And it's a neat little booger here, okay? I got 2 chucks. I got, well actually I bought a kit. It comes with the 3/8, the 1/4 inch, all the little different Torx bits. They're like 1.5 inches long, screwdriver bits, 4 nut drivers, like 7/16 down to a 1/4 inch. And, you know, you put it on low and you can tighten a hose clamp with it because it'll, I mean, it's got a hammer to it, but it's nothing like if you put it on. If you put it on 3, you can't hang on to it. I like this little thing, and you can tell I've already been using the crap out of it because it's all greasy. I am going to take this goofy belt clip off. You know, this is like a construction hammer. I wish I'd have had it when I put the 600 screws in this building. But I have a friend of mine that has one that's the 18 volt one that has the chuck and everything on it. He said he drove like 400 screws on one battery. So we'll find out because I'm going to use it. All right, so now we're ready. I'm going to roll the car forward, get everything tied up out of the way. I'm going to jack the transmission up so where it's just above level. I don't want to jack it up all the way up against the firewall because then you're going to have to put the motor in at such a steep angle that the the head's going to hit the firewall. So we'll get at that and get going. There it is, in and bolted up. Motor mounts on. Now it's just a matter of bolting all the accessories back. Keep it covered up. You see I had to tie the hood up so it'd clear my engine hoist. You just take the hood shock off and tie a rope to the deck lid, pull the hood up, and then the hood stays, you know, pretty straight. Alright, we're about done for today. There's a motor mount we don't need. I had everything put up, couldn't find that motor mount right there. Alright.